In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about opening wholesale accounts for Amazon FBA. I'm going to talk to you about the impact that it's had on my business, insights that I've learned along the way, and how best to go about upping your chances to get the best possible success whilst trying to open wholesale and brand accounts here in the UK. I've got my tea with me right now. Without further ado, my name's Hayden Davison. Welcome to the channel. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Monday's video here today. I hope you enjoyed last week's video, and in this week's video, as mentioned in the intro, we're now going to be talking about wholesale accounts, brand accounts, how you can open them, what tips that you need to know before opening them, some failures that I've made in the past, everything like that and everything in between, just to give you the best possible chance of opening them. But you might be wondering, first of all, if you do a business model or you don't do a business model that doesn't involve wholesale accounts, brand accounts, things like that, then how might they help you in your business and sort of start leveling you up? Now, there's business models such as sort of retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, things like that, where you can make, good money from them. But if you want to build more of a sort of empire kind of thing, more of a sustainable long-term business, then you need suppliers that can give you a constant flow of products, right? Doesn't mean they'll be in stock 100% of the time, but they will be in stock a lot more than retailers. The prices aren't necessarily cheaper all the time, but you've got that constant flow. So even if you're running at small margins, you know that you can sell thousands of items or hundreds of items or things like that. Now, there's many different ways you might want to use wholesale or brand accounts. Now, to name a few, you might just want to do direct wholesale sourcing and just sort of do wholesale. It's not something that I do, but you might want to do direct wholesale sourcing where you're buying it from the wholesaler and then selling it on Amazon for maybe small margins, maybe not, but you'll just build your business up that way. Or you may want to use it to, use the wholesale accounts to do other sort of things. Maybe you want to use them for selling them in your bundles, for example, or things like that. Or perhaps you want to build relationships with brands and then get the rights, your intellectual rights, get the authority from that brand to be the only seller that sells them brands on Amazon. Now, I don't use wholesale accounts. I'll be completely honest. I don't, completely transparent as I always am. I don't use wholesale to actually sell directly as a wholesale seller on Amazon. That's not the business model that I do. I don't build relationships with brands to sell them directly. I always sell, but I do open accounts with wholesalers and brands to actually sell them under my own brand sometimes, if ever we need additional products. But obviously I've opened a lot of wholesale accounts and brand accounts to do that. So obviously I feel like I've got the credentials to actually bring this video to you. So without further ado, let's dive into this video and go through my sort of top tips and things that I've learned just to help you along the way if you're trying to really get into wholesale accounts, brand accounts, open them for whatever reason you may see fit to suit your needs. See you soon. Okay guys, so the first thing before you do anything, the thing that I would recommend you getting started with is please don't go ahead and start opening wholesale accounts or contacting brands until you've got yourself a professional email. Now, what do I mean by that? Say if you're enterprise@gmail.com, a lot of brands, a lot of wholesalers will simply ignore you if you send them a Gmail email. Why? Because it doesn't come across very professional. There's a lot of brands, a lot of wholesalers, they want to work with people that they can have long-term relationships with. They want to work with companies that are going to be serious, otherwise it's just a waste of their time and a waste of their resources. The first thing I would personally recommend is to get yourself a professional email. Now that could be .co.uk or .com, depending on where you are and what sort of domain that you can buy, but I would recommend you getting that. Now, I'm going to move on to the next section in a second, talking about a website, but if you are going to get one, then bear in mind where do you want this to go, just so that you can create a name and buy a domain for that email that you might want to use for a website or a brand or your business in future, just so that so that the brands can understand where you're coming from. So anyway, without further ado, let's move on to the next video. Hey, so in the next video here, we're going to talk about websites. Now, I personally think that you should. Now, this isn't 100% necessary, but I would do this. Like, if you're serious about building a proper business using wholesalers and brands, I would recommend doing this, and I recommend starting your own website. Now, there's a few reasons for this. Now, the reason that I started a website is because I need a website anyway for my company. So it gives us a really good introduction to say to them, hey, we're not looking to just sell directly on Amazon, because we're not. We are actually a brand, and we actually have a website as well, and this is what we do. And it makes it a lot easier rather than just saying to them, because you want to be honest, really. Like, it's okay to sort of bend the truth a little bit as long as you're okay. Generally, I believe. But you want to have a website really so that you can just say to them, look, this is our brand, this is our company, we sell PC, video games, whatever you do. If you've got that website there to show them, you don't have to say to them, look, we sell 95% of our stock on Amazon. You can just show them the website and just say, look, PC and video games is what we do. Here's our website. Doesn't matter if all your links, I don't believe, link to your Amazon website as well. You can do that. If they ask you if you sell on Amazon, I wouldn't lie. I've had people ask me that, and I, list the platforms that we sell on, and I explain that we do sell on Amazon as well quite heavily, and that's fine. A lot of them won't mind. Some of them will. A lot of them won't. It depends on the brand, but this is a numbers game and things like that. So anyway, I would recommend that you get a website if you can. You can even build it yourself on Wix, for example. Like, they even do a free one, but I wouldn't recommend having the banner that says it's a free website, because they're not going to take you very seriously. But a website, I believe, can really, really increase your chances of opening them brands and wholesale accounts. You don't want to ruin your chances by sending them unprofessional emails and just not having a website or things like that. I don't believe. I think you could ruin your chances. Not saying that you couldn't try again in the future, but if they remember you, they may think, oh, he's unprofessional, she's unprofessional, because they don't even have a website, they don't have Gmail. You just don't want to ruin your chances, especially with some brands that could have huge potential. So let's move on to the next video anyway. Hey, in this video, let's talk about contacting them wholesalers, contacting them brands, and how I personally make first contact. First thing I personally do is either, by the way, some wholesalers you'll be able to just sign up to that wholesaler on the website directly, and they'll open accounts straight away. Now, some people think they're not proper ones, they're like cash and curries, but believe it or not, I have actually managed to do that with some pretty big wholesalers and brands. Wholesalers, really, I've managed to just open up straight away online, send them details, and then they open it in the next 2 days without asking any questions. Some will do that, and that's great. You can get some good wins like that. But bear in mind that the lower, the easier it is to open an account, the more competition you're going to have. The lower entry level, the lower barrier to entry, can't get my words out today, you have, the more chance of competition you're going to have. So it's not actually a bad thing. It's actually a good thing if you sort of get challenged, and as long as you can overcome that challenge. And even if not this time, then the next time. But contacting suppliers, the first thing that I do is send them a quick email, whether that's on the website where you've got to submit a form and then wait for them to reply. Or if you just need to send them an email and you need to actually go on Google to find their email, look at the bottom of the website, or there should be like a trade section somewhere, bottom of the website, top of the website. The first contact that I have with the brands, with the wholesalers that I'm trying to open, is just asking them simply, hey, we are blah, 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 we're this company, we're this brand, we're these sellers, whatever you want to do. Be polite, make sure your spelling and grammar is okay, and then just send them a quick message saying, hey, we're looking to open a wholesale account with you, we're looking to open an account with you. Whatever your request is to that wholesaler or brand, simply pop it in the message. I wouldn't make it too lengthy. I'll just, be assertive, be confident, and just say, keep it snappy to the point, and then wait for the reply. Now, to make things easier, what you may want to do is create a spreadsheet or create a Microsoft Word document or something like that, and just keep track of these. Keep track of the websites that you're actually trying to open, and then have the contact details next to them, and then put a green marker over it, or green highlight it, or something like that, or a tick or a cross, just to show that you've contacted them. Maybe have like phase one, so you've sent them an email. Now you're going to wait 5 days, just so you can keep track of it, and then next you can move on to the next stage, which we're going to talk about in the next video. But you don't want to get too messy, so just keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's the first thing I would do. Just send them an email, contact them, wait for their reply, give it 5 days, give it 7 days, whatever, and then contact them after that if they haven't, and that's what we're going to talk about in the next video. Hey, so now let's talk about the further contact. Now, as I said in the last video, some of these accounts, it may just be an email that you need. You may just do through and toe, to and through and toe. What is that? To and fro with emails, and then you may be able to open the account, and that's great. You know, that's quite low barrier to entry, but that's fine. That's still cool. They might question you in the email, or they might ask to speak to you in the email, or you will have to. They will ask you to contact them, or you just want to contact them anyway. So depending on whether you've opened the account or not, if there's things that you need to do, if you need to contact them further by email, obviously provide them with the information that you need to open the account. I've opened many just via email and just talking forwards and backwards on email, but some of them are going to want to talk to you. Now, don't get too scared when this happens, because, it's quite normal for that to happen, but they just want to understand a little bit more about what you do. And I actually think it's a good thing, because it means that they're not just opening their accounts to anyone that comes to them. So once again, that barrier to entry has been hired, which means that some sellers are not going to be willing to go ahead and actually do this, because they haven't got the confidence to do this, they haven't got the know-how, or they don't come across well on the phone and don't end up opening the account after all. They might get rejected. So if you can master the next stage, which is talking to them on the phone, then you may have one a step ahead of the others. Okay, so here's some tips about talking to suppliers or brands on the phone. So confidence is key here. Confidence is really, really key, but also knowing what you stand for, so that you don't end up jittering your words and things like that and just being a little bit all over the place. Clarity is key, confidence is key here. Okay, so what I do is know what I'm saying, know the outcome of this call before I go on the call. Okay, so by now you should have had your website. I would recommend that you've got a website, that you've got some sort of niche that you're into. You've got your professional email, okay? And then you've got a bit of a backstory that you've already made up in your head, okay? So let's go for the example of PC and video games, for example. Let's just say that you sell them, that's your niche. You usually do OA, but you're looking to get into wholesale or brands directly to actually sell these PC and video games under. So what I would recommend here is just coming along with a story that you know in your head. For example, hey, so we are we're a PC and videos website, and we actually sell PC and video games through our website and other platforms, because that won't be a lie. If you've linked all your Amazon links to your website, then they go directly to there. So you are selling them through the website and then linking them to Amazon, or you will sell some through the website anyway. Hey, we're a PC and video games website or company. We sell, and that's all you need to say, really. That's all you need to say, actually. And then they're going to come back with their questions. Okay, so we just wanted to check where you sell this stuff. Yeah, so we sell it on our website. And if they do ask, then you can just say, and other platforms like Amazon and wherever else you sell it. If they start to grill you here, if they do start to grill you, just try and think of some responses before you actually get into it, okay? Okay, cool. So we don't usually sell to Amazon sellers, for example. Now, if you get that sort of question, it's not the end of the world. You just got to be completely honest. As I say, some of them may say, look, we don't sell to Amazon sellers and that's it, and there's not really much you can do about that. But others won't even ask you, and some of them, if they do ask you, you just have to reassure them that you're going to keep it at a good price and things like that, and you're not going to be sort of like price gouging and things like that. But yeah, you've just got to be completely, just be honest. Say that you sell on different platforms. Say that you sell from your website, but only if they ask you. Keep it to a minimum. Don't overcomplicate it. If you start jittering your words, and if they start sensing that you're not confident, then they're going to know something's up. I always come on and just be very, very confident. Hey, it's Hayden here from our company. So we're really interested in selling your products. We think that you could suit our brand really well. We think that you could complement our company really well and the other brands that we work with. Here's a list of the few of the brands that we work with, and just make sure that you're also complimenting them. I always make sure that I'm complimenting them whilst I'm on the phone. Hey, I think your brand is awesome. We've always loved your brand. We'd love to use some of your brands alongside some of our other brands, things like that. Compliment them and also act confident, so that they know that this isn't the first time that you're opening an account, even if it maybe is. And as I say, be confident even if you get rejected, and then maybe you can try again another day, maybe when you're at another level or when you've got another sales pitch. or when your website's at a different level, something like that. So anyway, that's some of the great tips that I use whilst opening these accounts using the phone. So I hope you enjoyed that little video just on my advices on opening accounts and things like that with wholesalers and brands and stuff like that. I've opened tens and tens of wholesale accounts and brand accounts that have really helped me grow my business and excel it, using them in my own way. As I say, I don't directly sell wholesale products or anything like that. I'm not a wholesale seller directly, but I do actually open a lot of brands and wholesale accounts for other reasons. So I thought that would help some of you guys with some insights into this. Now, look, if you do get rejected, just keep going. Like, there's going to be companies that are really happy to work with you, especially after the pandemic. There's a lot of companies that really want that business and need that business. And even if you struggle to open some accounts to start with, just, you know, perhaps just whatever you need these wholesale accounts for, have a look on some other websites as well that are easier barrier to entry, just some of the like sort of cash and carry sites, you know what I mean? There can be opportunities there, not necessarily directly for wholesale, but whatever use that you want to use them for, you might be able to get, just get your first sort of insights into using wholesale with cash and carries if you need to, and then you can start moving on to the other stuff. But as I say, it is a numbers game. Understand your long-term vision, what you need it for. Just imagine if you keep trying to knock on them doors and open them doors, then eventually you're going to have hopefully a long list of suppliers that you've managed to open that you can build your business and use for years and years to come. You know, a really good supplier, you can use them for a long time, and actually if you build that really great friendship with them, then they could start favouring you among other sellers if they had limited stock, for example. So always make sure that you're nurturing that relationship, being polite, being nice, being confident, understanding what your company stands for, being clear on your image. I think that stuff can really help. So anyway, I hope that video has been goodness me. I hope that video, you're not laughing at me, are you? I hope that video has been of some use to some of you, and I will see you in the next video. That was my experience of opening my brands and wholesale accounts. Now, please do like and sort of share and subscribe if you can, if you enjoyed this video. Just as I say, it just gives me a good insight that we're doing something well and helps grow the channel. So I will see you all in the next one anyway. Have a good one. See you soon.